Hey everybody, this is Chris on the Uneducated Network, and this is Uneducated Hero Talk. In this episode, we're going to be talking about some of the trailers they put out over this last Comic Con week of these new upcoming shows and of these shows that they're bringing back. First, we're going to talk about Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger looks good to me. It looks real good to me. I don't know too much about their backstory and or their powers or anything like that, but the trailer has me interested. It shows that they was some kind of accident, some kind of car accident or a boat accident, a car accident. It looked like the car was going under the water, and it seemed like Cloak actually ended up saving her when she was a child. And I'm guessing they must have used their powers before when they was indicated for him to get her out of the water, get her out of the car in the water. Just because when they meet later down the line, like 5, 10 years later on the line, they show the scene where they're in not a funeral, but in a graveyard, and when they touch each other, they throw each other away. They throw each other from each other, and she's like, "Are you that boy?" So apparently, she's like, "Are you that boy that saved me back then?" Because when they're together, I guess that's when they're able to use their powers. Um, and like I said, I don't know too much about them, but when I looked into their history, I guess they do go hand in hand with each other. Cloak needs Dagger, and Dagger needs Cloak. Without Dagger, if Cloak doesn't have Dagger, I guess he could be consumed by his darkness and be corrupted and turn evil. And without Dagger, and then without Cloak, if Dagger doesn't have Cloak, she loses her light, and I guess that's able where she can able to use her powers because she can make daggers out of light. Um, I'm interested to see their powers, how they're gonna get their powers, and just how the show's gonna be. Now, that's gonna be on Freeform. That's like the baby sister programming of ABC. And now we're talking about ABC. We're gonna go to Inhumans. I'm excited about Inhumans. I'm really excited about Inhumans for multiple different reasons. Black Bolt's always been one of my favorite characters. Not one of my favorites, but like in the top 10 of my favorite characters. Um, Man, and just the villain of the show, Maximus, his brother, the person they get to play him, I like him. He's a good actor, and he plays a damn good villain. I forget his name, but if y'all watch Game of Thrones, he's Ramsay Bolton on Game of Thrones, and it's like he's probably like my number third my death scene that I was waiting for. Like I couldn't wait for him to get it just because I didn't like him as a character, as a villain. Just he played that good of a part where you hated him, where you couldn't wait for him to get it. So I'm excited about seeing how he's gonna portray that role of Maximus. But the trailer shows off where Maximus is speaking. And he's saying, "Hey, it's only a matter of time before they know we're up here because they live on the moon." He's like, "It's only a matter of time before they know we're up here. We need to go down there and we need to make the first move." And then you hear Medusa talking, saying, "If we can't do that. If we do that, it's gonna be all out war." And Maximus to the point of saying, "Hey, it doesn't matter. We need to take what's ours. This is rightfully ours. We need to take what we need. Take what we deserve." And they try to live in behind closed doors, behind shadows. And then you see Black Bolt. He's in the room with Black Bolt, and he's saying, "What, you're gonna kill me? You're gonna kill me by using your voice?" Because now Black Bolt, you don't hear him talk in the trailer because his power is, he can destroy half the planet just by him yelling, by him screaming. That's he's way worse than the Banshee. Like he has more power than the Banshee. He makes the Banshee look like he's nothing. Uh, but so you never hear him talk. But when he does that, it looks like he's about to say something, and then Lockjaw, that big dog, comes out of nowhere, and he just teleports him back to Earth and teleports to Earth. And then you see him when he has a scene where he throws like 3, 4 people away from him. He just opens up his mouth a little bit, and you see it coming out. It's like, man, that's just a whisper. But just imagine what he would, even if just in a normal talking voice, what he could do. So I'm excited about how they're gonna do that. Now, and that's gonna be on ABC. So now we're gonna go to the Netflix to the Defenders. Excited about the Defenders because I like Luke Cage, I like Iron Fist, and I like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. So they're gonna put them all together. They're gonna assemble their own small Avengers, which is gonna be called the Defenders. And that's pretty much what I can really tell you about that. They merged them all together as one. They're all tied in. All they villains and all the groups that they battling against in their own solo shows, they all tie in with each other. So I liked how they was building that up, and I'm excited about seeing that. Another good one, looks like it's gonna be another real good one, is gonna be The Gifted, and that's gonna be on Fox, and that's gonna be like the X-Men show. It looks like it's focusing around the Strucker family. It seems like there was an accident after school. It seemed like his son, the youngest one, Andy, he's getting bullied in school, and it looks like they bullying him in the locker room. And when he's getting bullied, he's getting all that stress. He ends up looks like caving in the school because you see that the showers around him is bending around him, and you see the people just screaming around him, and then you see the sister saying, "Hey, I need to find my brother," because she knows what's going on. She knows that, hey, he's making this happen because she knows she's a mutant too. So you start seeing her walking through the not walking, but running, trying to find her brother, and she's using her power blocking the ricochet that's falling, of the crumbling building falling on her. But then, but then they switch scenes, showing her talking to her mom, saying, "Man, mom, dad hunts people like us. Dad puts people like us in jail." So now you know that, hey, her dad works for the government, hunting down mutants and locking them up. And now he's put in a predicament where, hey, I either got to pick my kids or I got to pick the agency. And apparently he picks his kids. So now he's on the run. And and then you hear the father talking um, to another group of mutants, say, hey, the kids that destroyed the school and destroyed the school in Texas, those are my kids. So apparently he already worked with these mutants before. He must not be that bad of a guy for him to have mutants on his speed dial for him to just be calling for them to talk back to him. So he must have probably helped them out before, and now he needs them to help him out with their kids. But the show looks good. Now the graphics don't look all the way up there right now, but I'm pretty sure all these shows, Inhumans, The Gifted, their graphics will get better once the show come on. I think it was just something that it's not the final product. This is just what they had right now. They wanted to give you something so you can be like, hey, this look good. Now since we're done talking about Marvel right now. Let's go to DC. Man, Gotham. Now on Fox is doing it. Fox is gonna have a Marvel and a DC show. Gotham looks real good. Gotham. You hear Alfred talking in the beginning. There's a time for Mask, and then there's time for Bruce Wayne. And you see Bruce Wayne in the little mask. He has a more of a cutout where you see it looks like a little Batman, but without the ears. You see the mouthpiece cut open, his eyes. But man, he's like kicking. He's like throwing around three grown men around and stuff like that. It makes you think like, man, he may be easily doing this with three grown men, and he's just a child. Just think about what he's gonna do when he's actually Batman. And then they show Selena actually fighting, and she's taking out 3 or 4 people too. So it just shows you that his Bruce Wayne is growing into Batman, and Selena is going into Catwoman. I like how they did that. And then in the trailer you see Barbara Keaton out of nowhere come back, and you're like, did she die? And I was like, well, how did she come back? And then how are they gonna tie that in? Because there was rumors before that they were gonna try to that she was gonna be Harley Quinn. So I'm like, interested. Are they still gonna go down that route, or are they gonna try to do something new? Man, I'm like I said, I'm excited about Gotham. And then you seen the Scarecrow come back at the end again. So I'm just excited about Gotham because you starting seeing everybody, going in their way. And then you seen that they had the Riddler frozen in the iceberg lounge. So it's gonna be good. It make things. He's being recorded and pictures are being taken. It's like, damn, the news and them just okay with them having Riddler frozen in the middle of the bar. But okay, but it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And then we're gonna go to Supergirl. To me, some of these CW shows didn't give you too much because I believe with their trailers, everything you're seeing is gonna be in the first episode and the first episode or two. But Supergirl, they didn't give you too much. They showed you that she's tired of being Kara. She's gonna be strictly Supergirl. She feels like she can do the best for her just being Supergirl. She feels like, hey, there's no point of Kara. There's no point of my fake identity being out there. I want to be Supergirl 100% of the time. I want to be by myself. I want to ride solo. I don't need a team. I don't need a team behind me. I need to do this by myself. Which I think is probably going to last like 3 or 4 episodes. Besides that, she's going to go back with the team. Everything's new. That's why I think it's going to be. Flash looked good. It shows you that Iris is strong. Iris is not just the damsel in distress now. She's taking more of a leadership role. She looked like she's like the leader of the group, telling people where to go and who to save and stuff like that. She looks like she's a new Cisco. Cisco even leaned on her for help, saying, "Hey, I miss Barry," and she's like, "Hey, Barry's not coming back." So I like how they got her looking more stronger, independent. But then you start saying, but they need Barry back because a samurai, the guy that looks like a samurai, I hope he could be just a samurai, or he could be a samurai. He could be a there's samurai robots that the Flash used to battle with in the comics. So maybe that's what they try to introduce, or maybe he's just a regular samurai. You never know. Um, but they have to. He said, "I need the Flash. If we don't bring the Flash, I'm going to destroy the city." So he doesn't know in him anything about him being Barry Allen. So I'm excited about seeing that. And then they're gonna bring him back because he had Cisco reverse the gun where they can I guess bring him back from the Speed Force. And then we go to Arrow. To me, Arrow didn't give me too much of what the season's gonna be about. It looked good to me. It looked like they had a whole bunch of fighting scenes. To me, I'm most excited about seeing Arrow of any of these shows that they're bringing back because Arrow's always been up there with me as number one and number two with them and Flash. Now we're gonna go to Legends of Tomorrow. Legends Tomorrow, I mean, they just jacked up the past. When they was going back and forth in the future, they jacked it up. Where when they came back into the present time, you see the buildings around them is all different. You see that there's dinosaurs just running around everywhere. So this season is gonna be about them going back in time and fixing the time points where they messed up at, and to try to get it back into normal time. Let me know what shows you're most interested about seeing. Me personally, I'm gonna say it's the show that they're bringing back. Ooh, stop it! Let me tell you one other show that I'm most excited about seeing before I forget. It's Krypton. It was a really short teaser trailer. It was about 25 seconds long. It didn't give you too much, but it's gonna be focusing on Jarrell and of his father. Okay, it's gonna be focused on Superman's dad and his grandfather. It's gonna tell you the whole backstory. So I'm excited about seeing that. And if you look, the Superman emblem on there is identical to the one in Man of Steel. So I'm hoping that they're still linked up together in the same universe. Because if they do that, that can be perfect. They can start building on. They can start talking about Brainiac and building on the arc of Brainiac before the movie even comes out. So when Man of Steel 2 comes out, you can easily introduce Brainiac of being the main villain without having to dig too much into his backstory because you already done that in the past shows. So let me know what let me know what show you're most excited about seeing coming to the TV, or what show excited about them bringing back, and what show you think that doesn't look that good. Are you not gonna see anything? Me personally, I'm gonna check out all these shows. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're excited about seeing any of these shows or not. But you have a good one. Take care. All right. Bye.